The stunning Trails End Bike Hotel in the Elgin-Grabo Valley was the venue for a one-day mountain bike event that organisers Overberg MTB Events had to reschedule due to the wild weather patterns that affected the Western Cape last year. The BIKES2BLOSSOMS was originally scheduled for early spring 2023 to coincide with the apple blossoms that bloom and carpet this lush valley at that time. However, the heavy late winter rains laid waste to a significant portion of the region. The trail network in the valley was decimated, trees uprooted, branches broken and bridges washed away, resulting in the postponement of the BIKES2BLOSSOMS race. So in midsummer, with the trails now rehabilitated, the loyal and patient MTB community gathered to take on one of three distances, 55, 40 or 16 kilometres. Some had made a weekend of it and stayed overnight at the beautiful Trails End Bike Hotel, enjoying breakfast. Others had come through from Cape Town, Worcester, Arniston, Hermanus and other parts of the Western Cape. Fresh fruit complemented the energy food and balanced coffee was on offer. Then it was off to the start, just across the road. The man behind the Trails End Bike Hotel and the route for the race is a passionate mountain biker called Peter Silberbauer.
On the 25th of September, Heritage Day, we had the most incredible floods. It was probably the highest rainfall this valley has seen in living memory. And I think it was something like 300 mils in 24 hours. And basically every bridge on our trails washed away. And it was 3 weeks before the Wines to Wales. We'd already had a flood, so we delayed the BIKES2BLOSSOMS, and we thought, okay, we'll do it after Wines to Wales. By the time the water subsided, we had 2.5 weeks to build two very big bridges. The one is the one right behind me, where we had to have at least 12 meters clear span, because we're not allowed to build in the riverbed, and then one further along, which also we had to rebuild one side of the bank. And yeah, we had the most amazing team of people. On the 20th, the day that Wines to Wales started, we were still busy here, but luckily this was only going to be the final day that they crossed this bridge. And then we had to man the water point. What was really great was the water point was just after the bridges, and we got so many positive messages. People loved them, and I think just the fact that it had happened so quickly. After Wines to Wales, we suddenly realized that we still had another 4 big bridges to build if we were going to do the BIKES2BLOSSOMS. So we delayed it again, which upset a few people, but I think most people did understand. And so, although it's not blossom season now, 27th of January, but it's a beautiful day, perfect day, and I think people are going to be amazed by the bridges they ride today. This one, the one in the valley behind us, up at the waterfall, the whole of Moody's Meander we had to repair, the Cannondale Bridge, which floated 2 kilometers down the river, totally intact. We had to dismantle that, bring it back up and put it up again. On Oak Valley, Reese and Faisal have been fantastic, rebuilding bridges, berms, trails, and today is really a celebration of all of that. And I think we'll hear at the end that people are going to really have fun. And a lot of the trails, Moody's Meander has never been ridden in a race, so that's also very special. This is the first time, and so I think we'll have some rave reviews after the BIKES2BLOSSOMS ride today.
The 55 and 40 kilometre races took the riders up into the Grabo trails, winding through the pine forests on what is a maze of both rough and rocky as well as smooth single track. It certainly was a fitting way to celebrate the incredible work done by the Elgin-Grabo Valley trail building teams. The shortest route, over 16 kilometres, gave the very young and new to the sport a chance to get a taste of real mountain biking as they circumnavigated the big Aikenhof Dam. The Elgin-Grabo Valley is a tight-knit community who just love showing off their slice of Cape Paradise. And there are few better ways of seeing it than on a mountain bike. One of the region's best known and most loved institutions is Peregrine Farm Store, and they provided water points laden with wholesome food and drink to keep the riders going. Hayley McLaughlin was enjoying her ride in the long race. In the hunt for the win in the 40k race, Polroos youngster Jan Frikken from Stellenbosch. Ekenhof Dam was looking an absolute picture. The long route riders headed up under Viljoens Pass and onto the magical Oak Valley Trail network. Lizette Roos's smile tells you all you need to know about her day on the bike. It was a feast of single-track riding, as one would expect in an area famed for its trail network, which had been so beautifully rebuilt. JD Milan was all concentration on the right-hand switchback. Eric Walters got it right. Wayne Arlo was in his element. And Rob Edwards had spent just over 4 hours having a jaw on his bike. On a warm summer's morning, the wind, rain and cold of last winter were a distant memory as they cruised the dappled avenues of leaf-covered trails. The 55-kilometre race was won in 2 hours and 32 minutes by Bruce Anderson. Ingrid Seritslev Talbot was the fastest woman. Durko Lang won the 40k in 2 hours and 9, and Candice Davison was half an hour behind him as first woman. The Frikken family dominated the short ride. Young Michiel and Mum Peggy were the respective winners. But the day was about so much more than just the fastest riders. Peregrine Farm Stall gave each rider a 50 rand voucher, a bottle of fresh apple juice and a tasty pie, worth the entry alone. In addition, the generosity of the riders saw a significant donation made to the trail builders of the Elgin Valley, who worked so hard to rebuild the network and give the riders in the Bikes to Blossoms in 2024 a day to remember at Trail's End.
That's all from this week's edition of